Okay, the last few weeks in AI have been an absolute whirlwind. And if you're an entrepreneur or business owner, things just got very, very real. So we're going to cut through all the noise and break down the 5 most important AI events that are completely rewriting the playbook for business, starting right now. Let's dig into what this actually means for you.
Look, I get it. This sounds super intense, right? But this is the exact sentiment that's buzzing around the industry. The pace of change is just accelerating so fast that what felt like the cutting edge, 6 months ago, that's quickly just becoming the baseline. The message is pretty clear. Adapting isn't really optional anymore.
And that brings us to our first, and you could argue the biggest breakthrough of them all. We are watching a fundamental shift happen right before our eyes. AI is moving from a passive tool to an active, autonomous member of your team. No, this isn't about chatbots anymore. This is about digital workers.
The key term you absolutely need to get familiar with is agentic AI. Think of it this way. Instead of just asking an AI a question and getting a simple answer back, you give it a goal. You just give it the end state, and it figures out all the steps to get there. It plans, it researches, it can write code, it can design, all on its own.
And the difference in scope here is just staggering. Old AI was kind of like a calculator, but for words. You still had to do all the real thinking. This new AI, it's like a project manager, a researcher, and a developer all rolled into one. You provide the high-level strategy, and it handles the really complex execution.
So here's the bottom line. This changes your role. You've got tools now like Perplexity Computer that can orchestrate more than 19 different AI models at once. It'll grab the best one for reasoning, the best for image creation, the best for speed, and it pulls them all together to complete an entire project. We've seen it build real-time financial dashboards from a single sentence. So your job is no longer to do all the little tasks. It's to direct the agents that are doing them.
Now, with all this incredible new power comes, immense responsibility. And that leads us straight to our second major event, a really high-stakes standoff that's forcing everyone to ask, what lines are we willing, and maybe more importantly, not willing, to let AI cross?
So here's what happened, and it happened incredibly fast. Anthropic, the company behind the AI model Claude, was working with the US government. The Pentagon then turned around and demanded unrestricted use of their AI. Well, Anthropic pushed back. Hard. They set 2 huge ethical red lines. Absolutely no mass surveillance of citizens, and no fully autonomous weapons without a human in the loop.
And this was the moment a line was really drawn in the sand. I mean, despite the threat of being blacklisted, which is a move that could cost them billions and has literally never been used on a US company before, Anthropic's CEO just publicly said, nope, we're not backing down on our principles.
And here's the Pentagon's response. An absolute refusal to let an AI company set any kind of ethical boundary on military uses. This whole clash, it represents this fundamental conflict over who really controls this technology. Is it the people who create it, or its most powerful users?
Okay, so why does this matter to you? Because who you partner with in AI is no longer just a technical choice. You have to ask, are they willing to say no to a government? What are their red lines? Their ethics are now baked into your company's risk profile. You have to choose your partners wisely. All right, so as the power of these models is growing, forcing these huge ethical questions, so is their raw technical ability. And that brings us right to our third breakthrough, a massive leap in capability that solves one of AI's oldest and most frustrating limitations.
1 million. That is the number of tokens that new models like GPT-5.4 can hold in their working memory. Now, think of tokens less like words and more like Lego bricks of information. Before, AI had enough bricks to build, say, a little house. Well, now it has enough to build an entire city. This isn't just a little more memory, it's a total paradigm shift in how much context an AI can handle.
So what can you actually do with this? Well, it means you can give an AI agent your company's entire software codebase and just say, find the bug. Or you could feed it every single customer support ticket from the last 5 years and ask it to design a new onboarding process that fixes your top 10 most common problems. That's the level of complex analysis we're talking about now. It's not just remembering the last thing you said, it's understanding the entire history of a project.
And with capabilities expanding this quickly, it's really no surprise that the biggest players out there are making some massive bets. Our fourth point shows us exactly where the smart money is flowing. And spoiler alert, it might not be where you think. $35 billion. That is the size of the investment Amazon has offered OpenAI. And let's be clear, this isn't just an investment. It's a huge statement about the insane scale of capital being deployed to build the foundational layers of this new AI economy. What's really fascinating here is how circular this deal is. So Amazon gives OpenAI a ton of funding, mostly in AWS cloud credits, plus access to their custom AI chips. In return, OpenAI commits to spending those credits on AWS, which gives Amazon exclusive hosting rights and a crucial role in training the next generation of models. Basically, each company is fueling the other's growth. It's pretty genius.
So what's the big takeaway for you as an entrepreneur? It's this. The giants are in a battle for control of the foundational infrastructure, the cloud platforms, the chips. The biggest opportunity for the rest of us isn't trying to compete with them head-on. It's building innovative new things on top of the powerful platforms they're creating.
And that brings us to our final breakthrough, which is happening right on top of that very infrastructure. We're moving way beyond just creating a single image or a little bit of audio. Now we're automating entire creative production lines. The tech behind this is called a node-based workflow. Just imagine a visual flowchart, but instead of boxes with text, each box is a different AI model. One for text, one for images, one for video. You just drag and drop and connect them together to create a reusable assembly line for content. So with tools like 11 Labs Flows, you can start with just a single idea. Have it generate a whole set of images, then feed those images into a video model to animate them, and then layer on AI-generated music and sound effects, all in one automated sequence. And the best part? You save that entire workflow as a template you can use over and over again. This just changes the entire game for marketing and content creation. Seriously. The goal is no longer to manually produce one video or one ad at a time. It's to design and build automated engines that can generate a constant stream of on-brand content just by changing a few inputs. It's all about achieving a scale that was impossible before. And that idea, the idea of building systems, of moving from being a doer to a director, that's the common thread that connects every single thing we've talked about today.
When you pull it all together and connect these 5 breakthroughs, the arrival of the true AI worker, the new ethical battlegrounds, that massive leap in memory, the consolidation of infrastructure, and the automation of creativity, a single, really powerful theme emerges. We are moving away from an era where AI is just a tool you use to a new era where AI is a workforce you direct. And that leaves us with this one critical question. With AI agents that are capable of doing more and more complex work, the strategic choice for every entrepreneur is becoming clearer by the day. Are you positioning yourself to build and direct this new kind of labor, or are you competing with it? The answer to that question is going to define the next decade of your business.